Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Dota 2 Champions League. I am Lysander, going to be joined here by Michael Loris. This event is brought to you by Epic Esports Events as well as Face It, so shout out to those guys for bringing to us some good old Dota action from the European scene. But previously, we did see some Egyptian Dota, so as my co-caster so aptly tells me, it's not all EU here in EU. But we now have Escape Gaming versus Chew.Toy Reborn. I have not heard of Chew.Toy Reborn. It's a really bizarre name. It's a very bizarre team icon, but I know Escape Gaming, and I'm excited to see Syndrome play in the pro scene, after TI once again. So, what do you think, Mike? Do you think Escape have improved since their TI? They did strike out pretty low, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It was still a pretty junior team at that point, but they did what they could, got through the wild cards, got a few fans pretty
They have
happy.
so much room to still grow, and I think that's really the big takeaway. Right after they're having some rough competition. I think they ran up against the it was in the Summit event, the BTS series event. They kind of scrubbed out of that, but I mean, the competition is absolutely fierce there. A lot fiercer than here. I've never heard of Chew.Toy either, let alone Chew.Toy Reborn, though Non Grata, the Bulbasaur, and CA have seen them stand in for quite a few teams in the past, but hopefully we have some good showing from them. But they are going up against one of the favorites. I haven't looked at the entire bracket in a lot of depth, like everyone who's been playing, but you gotta assume that Escape Gaming are favored to, I mean, at the very least, go through from round one. And taking a quick look now, yeah, I'm inclined to say definitely round 2 or 3.
There is Kai P. I think F5 are pretty decent as well.
There's definitely some serious contenders, but Escape Gaming are near the top.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could definitely say that for sure. But yeah, for now we are going to watch some Chew.Toy Reborn. Oh man, just seeing that pink bone there just tickles me. But yeah, what do you think about that Sand first pick? Okay, let's deviate for a moment. I have been hearing lots of good things about Mr. Yepso. A lot of people have been tuning into his stream. Have you been watching?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't really like watching people's streams.
Okay.
I like watching on the side. I don't really pay attention.
It's understandable. I mean, sometimes you like playing the game more. Sometimes you like doing other things.
Watching tournaments more.
Yeah, watching tournaments. It's definitely a thing. I do watch a little bit. I do know he does play that roaming style a lot. His streams more focused on the roaming. A lot of streams are, sometimes the mid players, like, you see RTZ, he has the mid play, he has that safe lane play. But Yepso has got a little bit special for him. He's gone roaming. That's what he puts in his title as well. He plays roamers like Shaker. So I imagine Sand King or Mirana would probably be his heroes that he'll be playing here. But talking away from Yepso, we have Quickfer, a player that is actually really talented. Used to be on Liquid really long ago, I would say. Am I wrong? He used to be on Liquid.
No, you're right.
Yeah, he used to be on Liquid really long ago. Played a lot of really good Tinker, if I remember correctly. And he was coined as at one point a kind of a prodigy, so to speak. And of course we have Era, the godly carry to some, and of course we have Syndrome, the guy that dies for his team. So Keizu, I've not heard as much from him, but I intend to find out more.
Yeah, Keizu definitely is one of the less spectacular of the names, if that makes any sense. But I mean, as a crew, they're all doing a hell of a lot together. I think Syndrome and Era probably have notch up if you're really looking to count points in that regard. But holy crap, dude, 2 in a row. Juggernaut slaughtered our Pudge. 3 melee heroes going up against Sand King Mirana is not really a great idea, but they are looking to cause chaos, and nothing but chaos.
I assume Chew.Toy are Russian, because they have a Russian name in there.
They are.
They're definitely, yeah, okay. So, does look like it's gonna be another 20 kill by 5-minute kind of game. So, I'm down. I am down. Sand King, Mirana are heroes that fight early as well. I love seeing a good Sand King gank. I think the changes to Caustic Finale, adding that slow, was a huge deal in his pursuing power. And now with Keeper of the Light, oh man, I'm excited. But it does mean that we have a core Mirana, or at least a offlane one. So it's gonna be interesting for sure. The Academ Scepter was nerfed in the previous version, but you know, it's not too huge a nerf. It's still double Starstorm. It's a little bit cut back on the damage on singular targets, but it's still a big AoE team fight. Nothing to sneeze at. And I kind of like this Disruptor pick. It's very disruptive. This Static Storm is going to be big trouble for Mirana and Sand King. And the pullback always going to be an issue when you're facing up against good pursuers like Slaughter and Pudge. So yeah, Escape Gaming have to be really careful. I have an inkling they'll pick a core with magic immunity like Lifestealer here to just counterplay the Glimpse. You know, they have that Sand King for the transport. It's really good against Pudge. You can pretty much munch on the Juggernaut as well. So we'll see if that's going to be the case, or they might go for something else altogether. Run that Mirana safe lane. Maybe go for a Timbersaw or Clockwork as their off laners. Yeah. So we'll see.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, for Chew.Toy, they need this Disruptor pick to play well, like land those fields, get those glimpses back. Slaughter and Juggernaut are just so reliant on having enemies that are not kiting them to actually find success, and that's where Disruptor finds his success. I was gonna say, like, for very similar reasons, you see Morphling banned out. You'd expect to see those very elusive type heroes, those elusive type carry heroes, being kind of concerned for Chew.Toy, because as a Juggernaut, as a Slardar, are you actually going to be doing damage to someone who's blinking or shadow dancing around you? You just can't do it. So Chew.Toy definitely do need that control. As far as control is concerned, they have a lot of soft control. Stuns, they're kind of few and far between. They definitely need a lot up against these mobility heavy heroes. Even Invoker, like, you know, Disruptor's aces up against what Escape Gaming has, but he's really the only one who, just by his power alone, is in a good spot matchup wise. Just having that large AoE silence. Everyone else very single target heavy based. It's going to be difficult to play around that against Sandstorm, you know, Burst Strike, Leap Escapes, and even Keeper of the Light. And his Blinding Light this game is looking real good up against Juggernaut and Slardar. So Synderen he's a mastermind, and he has himself almost across the board, it seems, favorable, even at worst matchups, but favorable more often than not.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Quake vs Invoker, that's for sure. I believe he's playing it, right? He should be playing Invoker.
Are you doing things over there? I'm getting some static. I'm not sure if that's you moving things or...
No, I'm worried now. Is there static?
Let's just restart this call.
Okay, yeah, I'll call you back. Okay, let me just call back Mike. Hopefully it's not static going in on your side as well, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna ring Mike up. Hello?
Escape Gaming's turn to
Is it fixed? Is it good?
I mean, we'll see. If it's static on my end, who cares? It just matters what other people hear.
Alright, guys in chat, do let us know if there's static going on to the stream. And hopefully maybe we'll sort something out. Hopefully it's not the case. I don't hear any static on my end, so it might be a one-way thing. I hope it's a one-way thing, because I don't know what to do if there's static. And yeah, I want to focus on this game. Yeah, Keizu is one of the best Hon offlaners, apparently, according to someone in the chat. So yeah, a lot of Hon personalities actually coming over. Here's a new Earth. You know, we have recently got a lot of players came from the PPD. No-Till, I believe. They all came from Hon. And another caster, I think, a very big caster from there is coming over as well. So a lot of people are hopping over to the Master Race. And I can't say I am too sad about that. But a Tiny coming in here. So it is going to be a off-lane Mirana, right? Yeah, off-lane Mirana, Tiny, Sand King, Keeper, the Light. So I kind of like it. You know, Tiny, mana problems. Keeper solves that. And good burst, good stun. I like this lineup. Escape Gaming, they got Era's good old Tiny. He likes playing that hero with no tails. Io back in the good old Fnatic days, if you remember the good times. But yeah, Chew.Toy, what's gonna be the last pick, do you think?
They need a little bit more control. It almost has to be a ranged hero at this point, because Tiny has such a good matchup against Jug, Slaughter, and Pudge just by virtue of being melee versus melee. Tiny is going to have a nice edge there. Craggy Exterior is incredible up against Juggernaut and Slaughter. Not to mention the fact that early game combo heavy heroes like Tiny with Keeper of the Light feels pretty good. Chew.Toy grabbed the Lifestealer, another melee hero, a hero that actually has some inherent built-in defenses versus Tiny, so I suppose that's kind of nice. You cannot be hit with the Craggy while you're raged up. That being said,
Two
can
spell
Chew.Toy
immunes.
reliably kill off a Tiny? They're almost all physical based, and I mean that's kind of okay to deal with a Tiny, but once he picks up, like, I assume he's eventually going Assault Cuirass, but just a Plate Mail, and
They
then
have amp
Chew.Toy's
damage, though.
damage
That's
just
something to
plummets.
note as well. They have Slaughter for the amp damage.
Yeah, I don't think they could actually get any good responses to amp damage. They could, like, no one's gonna get like a Diffusal Blade or. I mean,
30
Tiny can just get
seconds remaining.
Manta.
Alright, so the static is better,
5
so
seconds
thank God.
remaining.
Alright, so okay, that worries out of the way, but yeah, I was listening to your train of thought, and yeah, you know, I do agree that the Tiny getting assault will be a problem, but I think the Slaughter's amp damage is gonna offset a lot of the tankiness. So we'll see how Chew.Toy work this out. I mean, you know, with these aggressive lineups and this these CIS teams especially, you never know how they're gonna play the game. You know, if they run at you, they get that early head start. It's just you know, you just kind of start playing from behind from then on. It's very difficult to sort your things, you know, sort your game out, as you know, you just keep getting run at, you're getting disruptor pullback, you're getting hooked out. So we'll have to see. Juggernaut versus Invoker in the middle lane. I would say Invoker is favored, but I think Juggernaut has a lot of ways to mitigate a lot of the harassment that Invoker can put out with the healing ward. And with Blade Fury, you can actually push out waves pretty well. So it really does come to who has the better ganking supports. Yeah, if, you know, if Pudge gets a good hook across the river, kills the Invoker once, then Jug's suddenly ahead. But if the arrow lands on Jug, or there's a nice barrel strike from behind that he doesn't see, you know, it could go the other way.
Yeah, more likely it's going to be Mirana chucking arrows in, KZU's mostly sticking to the off lane unless we have some weird aggressive scenario, which I doubt. I'm interested to see what Koikva is actually going to be doing with his item build. Looks like he instantly grabs Exhort, Sunstrikes the Scout, doesn't really see a hell of a lot, but going for Wex up against Chew.Toy's heroes is decently attractive, although Blade Fury Rage somewhat resistant to the EMP combo. Just, it punishes melee heroes. You still will have Ice Wall with this build, and it does work much better with the arrow, with the burrow strike, with the avalanche toss. So Koikva going for Exhort is going to mean that, well, even KZU has a good amount of just solo kill power. If he goes up against a melee core, who he is, it's going to be a versus Lifestealer at least. Caustic Finale, well, everything that Sand King has is going to put him in a pretty good spot here. And looking at the bottom lane as well, Slaughter isn't really a hero you need to commit too many heroes into zoning out, which means, of course, YapzOr is going to be heavily roaming about.
Yeah, alright, so it is going to be YapzOr playing the roaming, Mirana. I know, initially I thought it was going to be either Sand King or Mirana offlane, but yeah, offlane Sand King does make sense, with the points you mentioned, them being melee heroes and whatnot. But still, I think what's going to be cut out for KZU, he has to be very careful. Disruptor does have Sentry Ward, so Sandstorm will not be able to bail him out as easily. He's got boots, but pullback from Glimpse is a real threat. So he has to be careful there when playing up against this lineup. But there is also the issue of my mic static. I did find out why there was static, because one of my legs tugged against the wire, so it came a little bit dislodged. So I think that's why there was static. Should be fixed for those guys on stream. It will be fixed 2 minutes later because there's a stream delay. So by the time you guys hear this message, it should be okay already. So yeah. Let's get into the game proper, you know? Huh?
Nothing happened anyway, so who cares?
Yep. Alright, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have this mid lane, you know. I think that, you know, Juggernaut Invoker are okay matched, but what do you think?
Yeah, it should be Juggernaut to get his farm, Koikva to get just as much farm. The telling part of this lane is gonna be how well do they actually get gank support, and how well does the Invoker help his other lanes with gank support. That's really the X factor here. He can help his allies out, Juggernaut cannot. So if Koikva just gets a handful of Sunstrike kills or assists, suddenly the mid lane is looking a hell of a lot worse for the Juggernaut. But you know, Juggernaut is assuming he goes for a pretty standard build up, gets the phase boots and whatnot, gets some stats, bottle maybe. Then he should be able to more than easily sustain up against Koikva, even when Exhort becomes level 2, level 3, and actually becomes a threat. But for right now, we have who I'm being told is pronounced Xenya's Pudge, wearing the ugliest set of all time. He's just pure jungling, using the hook to pull the creeps into the jungle. And Keizu's also in a little bit of trouble, actually.
This is the Chinese pirate kind of look.
Yeah, it looks terrible, dude.
The hook's pretty bad.
No racist.
No racist? Okay. Prepare for the Reddit flame. But yeah, I wouldn't say that's the most disgusting one. I think I've seen worse, to be honest. For being really honest, yeah, I think I've seen worse sets, but it's not a good combination for sure. But well, we'll see. There's gonna be a little bit of tussle here. Yepzo stealing some farm. He disables the clarity potion of the Pudge even. And being at level 2, he should be safe from Pudge's shenanigans. But here comes Disruptor, doesn't have Glimpse. Yepzo getting Rot Hugged now. Rot Hugged. But there is a hook, and he takes the bounty rune. So greedy, he's now getting caught out. He might get hooked. He dodges it. Yepzo dodges it in spite of that huge mount that he's riding on, and he will actually be able to plink away at the Pudge. Zhenya, you mean? Yep, Zhenya. Yeah, so Zhenya not gonna be able to score an early kill here on Yepzo. So Yepzo, being the annoying roamer that he is gonna look for some pickoffs here in the middle lane. Yep, we're gonna go plink away at Non Grata with the boots of speed. Jug should not be able to catch up. And this Pudge looking for that hook over the river that I mentioned earlier on. And we'll see if he does get that hook. If he does get it, he hooks! Oh, finds the Force Spirit. And a hook down the Invoker would have been first blood, but no, it was not meant to be.
Just having another body in front of you that you could easily manipulate for Koikfa is going to be a pretty big game, keeping himself just that much safer up against Pudge. I didn't think it's going to be relevant. It usually isn't relevant, but hey, they just displayed that, so we'll see if he can keep that positioning up with his summons. Taking a quick look at the other lanes now. Slaughter actually getting a lot out of this lane. CS-wise, doing just fine.
He's eating the stack that Kato got for his team.
Yeah, and he's level 4, which is insane.
Stole all of them! Oh no, that's not good, Syndran. That's not good. He might even die here. Syndran? Okay. But yeah, Syndran dying there would have been the ultimate facepalm.
Static. Plug it in, Lysander.
Yeah, I plugged it in already. It's
back.
Is it still static for you? Yeah,
it's like on and off. Oh, we got hooked down towards bottom lane. Syndran, in classic Syndran fashion, is gonna go ahead and die.
Oh, poor Syndran. And right as I reach down there, wait, tell me when.
It's okay. It was a hook into an already almost dead Keeper of the Light, so it wasn't really much of a competition there. But Chew.Toy, the roaming Pudge, starting off at a pretty decent clip, getting first blood for the team and getting first blood for the Slaughter, who I said it was pretty easy to zone him out. Level 5 Tiny is a substantial threat, especially with backup from Sunstrike from the mid lane, but Slaughter, if he's able to keep his positioning kind of nice, then he's going to get a lot of farm. He's also going to have the luxury of going, Iron Talon jungle if he really needs to. Towards top lane now, Arrow.
The Arrow. That was so close, and now I think Keizu in trouble there. He has used his only escape option to just Barrow Strike in, but the Star Storm from Yepzo, they might actually get the kill on the Disruptor first. The Barrow Strike out! Keizu surviving on 14 HP, the double branches keeping him alive. And the Sunstrike now finds the Life Stealer. People in chat were hating on Quakefa's Invoker earlier on, but hey, first Sunstrike lands on the mark. So that's going to be one kill there for Escape Gaming on the carry. It's going to be very good for them. And adding to his Midas, you talked about these Sunstrike kills tilting this lane in his favor, and well, it's doing that so far. It's nearly got that Midas recipe money.
I just want to point out the Disruptor had his hand up in the air and was about to auto attack when he died, which would have killed off the Sand King. Yeah. So that was some timely shooting there from the App Store.
Okay, right as we praise him. But oh, a good counter kill here from Syndran. The Illuminate level 1 being able to do just enough damage with the power shots to take him out. So it is an even-ish trade as Syndran gets the XP for that. But yeah, Invoker a little bit too chancy with his last hitting. Ran forward, got hit by an Omni Slash and double damage. So really nothing much he could have done about that one. But yeah, this Lifestealer getting a lot of pressure from his Sand King, like you mentioned, with his Marana help with that Arcane Boots already up for him. Wow, that's a lot of pressure he could be outputting.
He's also gone for only 1 point in the Sacred Arrow, so he just wants to set up
perfect
like that. And then Starstorm for the kill.
That is insane. And this Glimpse is not going to do much. The Pudge is here for a round of Yepzo, but oh, Yepzo doesn't have... Oh, he doesn't have Leap. He's in a lot of trouble. He's dead. And Yepzo getting hooked there by the Fat Confucius, as the chat is calling him. Oh man, I'm kind of seeing it now. Now that they mention it, it's kind of. I was trying to pinpoint the style of mustache. I think it's got its appeal. You know, it might be worn ironically. So.
Hey,
But
I don't. You could be appealed to however you want, dude. That's your prerogative.
you know, for me, Dota's a little bit about the hats, and I do like to critique the fashion choices of Dota players. But you know, it's kind of an interesting thing, you know, seeing new sets once in a while. But I think I've seen them more.
I have no respect for people who pick bad sets.
Okay. Look at you, high and mighty. What a snob. Head snob.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with just the vanilla skins. You don't have to put stuff on it.
Quakefa is very close to his Midas, and I like what he's doing, just going to the jungle, ensuring that he doesn't risk a lane gank or anything, and dying, losing that gold to that Midas. Yeah, he's about 20 gold away, so just want to play it safe and just keep himself out of reach of roaming support. So I kind of like it. You see this Pudge already waiting there to hook him out if he is going to even show his face. But in the end, oh, Invoker, another strike here with that stun toss combo will actually pick him off on the pick off the Slaughter on the bottom lane. The Jug coming in with that rotation, not going to be in time to save his buddy there. So we'll lose their Slaughter to the safe lane. So Era doing fine on his own against these the pressure from the Pudge and the Slaughter earlier on.
Yeah, Slaughter not exactly known to dominate lanes, and that means that Synderen doesn't actually have to help out too much. Last time he tried, he just got himself killed. But now just going into the jungle, playing, you know, pretty classic Keeper of the Light, very Crystal Maiden-esque support / jungle, is going to be getting a lot of gold that is really hard to punish for Chew.Toy. Pudge maybe can sneak into the enemy jungle and mess with him a little bit, but no one else really can, at least not to a significant degree. So expect him to get a lot of free farm. YapzOr's in trouble top.
Oh. He is. Oh, he's getting pulled back out. Does he have his leap? He does not. So his Panther is kind of out of breath at this moment. So he's just trying to get a kill there on this Disruptor, and he will. The arrow will fly straight. One shot will take him out. The Moonlight Shadow is available, but a hook. Oh, Confucius finds the way. Keizu now running away there. The Barrel Strike out through the trees, and the rest of these heroes are not able to run through vegetation, so they will not be able to catch the Sand King. So the Scorpion gets out alive, 7-4 now in favor of Escape Gaming, but still a huge kill on that Mirana. But meanwhile, the Juggernaut going down to the Tiny.
Yeah, I think, well, Era definitely Avatos comboed him. Maybe Sunstrike there, I don't know, but he just found himself in the pretty much right near the Observer from the Radiant, that area. I don't really know how a Juggernaut finds himself there, but he was around that area and he died. But I do like how YapzOr is playing. First of all, that was in 6 sequence of plays, but also just kind of suiciding himself, kind of just messing with the lane by checking out those Sacred Arrows. He's farming this hard camp top lane very, very reliably, as he's now going to take out another creep with that insta-kill arrow. And this early set of Arcane Boots is doing just so much work for him and Keizu, honestly. Like, he's been getting... The Arcane Boots have, like, almost paid for themselves, honestly, just by constantly killing off those creeps, and Keizu's always topped out. And this is meaning that Chew.Toy need to commit more heroes up towards his top lane. That means fewer heroes do with Era, who has a Blink Dagger, and he's going to go in for non-product. Kaboom! Dead.
Meanwhile, top lane, Ultra getting caught again. If he's not careful, the Barrel Strike was there, but the Creep Wave was there to intercept the arrow. So YapzOr was not able to throw out the follow-up stun. But now he's going to try again for Ultra. He almost lands it. Oh man, that would have been a huge one from YapzOr. But yeah, I think another thing apart from the Arcane Boots is the early level 5 that he managed to attain despite being a roamer. It's a big part of how the Mirana arrow works now, being able to snipe out big creeps and him disrupting the Pudge's jungling in the early stages, allowing him to get that early level. The double Starstorm early, easy for pickoffs. And you already see Ultra struggling against this Mirana harassment. Middle lane, getting caught out there to Slaughter. Caught off guard there by the Tiny and his Blink Dagger, but now Era caught in there by the Disruption Field. He is going to get caught out. There is a glimpse backwards, and I'm not sure Era will get out of this alive. There is a Moonlight Shadow. He tosses the enemy back, but he's going to get caught out there by the Lifestealer, and there is a Dust, so he will not be surviving this gank. And yeah, well, so they do get a return kill. They kill the offlaner for the safe lane. So the killing spree going down to the Lifestealer, no less. So that's going to be a big help for him.
Yeah, just a little bit too many backup heroes there for Chew.Toy for just Tiny to deal with. But it is, again, Chew.Toy kind of forced to commit more heroes to any given location than Escape. We have Synderen farming bottom lane, top lane, Keizu's still there, and he's loaded with gold also. So while that play may not be hugely worth it for the Tiny in particular, as a whole, Escape Gaming get a lot more gold and a lot more experience around the map than what they lost. And now they can do the exact same thing. We've seen time and time again, just apply pressure in small squads. On the whole, the small squads of Escape Gaming are more dangerous than that of Chew.Toy, which means Chew.Toy need to be kind of more reactive. And they don't really want to be reactive with their heroes. They want the Pudge, they want the Juggernaut to be looking for kills, very actively looking for kills, but it doesn't seem like that's in the cards. They'll find Koikfa. Oh, but the Forge Spirit just randomly walking in front of the Pudge gets body blocked again.
Rough game for Pudge, actually. I'm surprised he has managed to do that so well so far. But now he's walking up the high ground there. There is a Blink Dagger already on the Scorpion. They will get the double Star Storm on him. He's still trying to survive. The arrow goes far, too far. And the Pudge actually manages to deny himself. So he just sinks into the ground there, getting the last laugh on that one. I thought the Forge Spirits had it, but I guess not. And Quickfire will be denied a kill there. You're talking about these small squads, well, they do have an unfair advantage in the form of Sunstrike. So, meanwhile, Era on the bottom lane, there is no Omni Slash. Deal with this. They toss him back, and now in trouble is this Disruptor. Cold snapped up. They're trying to save Non-Grata here, but Non-Grata will just spin himself out of there. So, Quickfire making the best out of that Haste Rune will actually take out that Disruptor with the help of Cold Snap and Forge Spirit. So, easy kill for the Invoker. Very elementary style of play there. Forge Spirits, Cold Snap means dead support most of the time. And this tier 1 tower bottom. Oh, yep, top lane, what's up? Oh, Sand King getting out of there. No, sir. The Infest says no this time. Not this time, Keizu. But he nearly gets himself out. But that makes space for the Escape Boys on the bottom lane. And with that tiny Invoker, I wouldn't have much pin much hope for this tier 2 tower bottom as well. And anyone that's trying to go to defend this one might get picked off by that rope wrapping around Tiny. Era waiting here. He's gonna jump in there. He sees that slaughter. I think it might be time to go. Here comes the stun. Where is that Avatar? And there you go. The Sunstrike will land. Quickfire gets an easy kill. And Hook now looking for Era, but I don't think they will be able to find it. Okay, they are gonna glimpse him back. There's the silence as well. The bite comes out. Era pretty tanky here. Is he gonna survive the Dustbolt fly? And there's a toss up. Lands on the Disruptor. They will get the kill. Triple kill now for Quickfire. Now Grata in trouble. The open wounds going on to that Mirana. So Mirana will not be surviving at a Coddle. Synderen will die for his team once again. Or will he? Riding away on his horse, right fast, Shadowfax, here comes the Sunstrike, one more hit, oh! Doesn't get him, blocked there by that AI, that pathing AI, and Non-Grata suddenly finds himself on the wrong end of that Invoker. Quickfire goes into Ghost Walk, very quick invoking coming out here from the mid player of Escape there, keeps himself alive, 14 for 8 now. Chew.Toy lose a lot of heroes on that bottom lane defense, and now sitting at a 7,500 gold advantage. Escape Gaming are going to be smiling all the way to the bank. Quickfire, I think, is definitely going to be happy there. He's earned more than 3/4 of his Aghanim Scepter, so it's going to be a scary Invoker. Too fast, too soon.
Dude, this guy is so unbelievably farmed right now. It doesn't really show it just because he's holding so much liquid cash, but he's like still, he's going to be packing a huge punch. And Invoker up against this very melee-heavy draft of Chew.Toy is going to have just that much more fun as he gets more points into Wex especially. Deafening Blast for the disarm is absolutely amazing, and EMP later on usually just doesn't do anything, minor zoning tool, but up against these heroes it's going to be backbreaking. He's actually opted for Travels first just to be a little more active, and I do like that decision. You can just go for your pretty standard Aghanim Scepter builds, but by doing this it kind of capitalizes on what they already have, which is 2 Blink Daggers on Era and Keizu, and the kill power of Yapsor. So they have the Travels, they have all that mobility, plus the recall of Keeper of the Light. It's hard to get a numeric advantage for Chew.Toy. Bottom lane trouble.
This small squads you talk about, they're going to have a lot of reinforcements available for them. Speaking of reinforcements, Era once again jumping a little bit too deep in there for a kill, and now he will find himself picked off. Now 3 for 3, must be a little bit more careful with his dives there. I think it was kind of obvious that they were setting that one up, and they do actually manage to snare the Tiny in their trap. So now we're gonna see if they can make a counterplay here on this Lifestealer. They do have that Blink Burrow Strike ready. Keizu already sitting in the trees there with his Blink Dagger ready, with his Epicenter to start things off. But for now, none of Chew.Toy are coming over, so may not have a fight for a bit.
There's no real reason to. The only way they're pushing this is with one creep wave at a time, and that is incredibly slow. If Koikva or Ira were there, you would bet they'd be up there to at least try to pressure them away, if not cause a team fight and keep this tower completely safe. But there's really no threat to this tower here. It's not taking any damage. It's pretty much just escape, getting gold, yes, but not doing anything super destructive. So that means Chew.Toy can play their own game, especially towards this bottom lane, have Pudge set up in the trees with the Slaughter as well. Still really needs that Blink Dagger, this Slaughter, but he is getting there. And for Chew.Toy, if they are able to catch some form of initiation on some huge profile target, mostly Koikva's Invoker, or just take down these towers without having to worry about the Keeper Light defense, then you're feeling
Scouting
pretty good.
Sunstrike. And yeah, well, the Illuminate clears out the creep wave, so all good. Something I want to ask you if you've been watching. I mean, you mentioned you watched some EU games recently, and usually these games are out of my time zone, so I don't really catch as many of them. But is Coddle a pick that's been done very often now, or is this just happening now?
It's not like super rare, but it's not first pick common either.
Okay.
So,
So
just
it's
right
been
in
done
that
quite
like,
a bit. Okay.
yeah, that easy bandwidth of viable.
All right. So far, Pudge did start off with some big plays and here and there, but it started to slow down a little bit for him, and unable to find those big kills. He's gone for a hood first over the Aetherlens, so trusting in his ability to hook from a not so long range.
Defensively, it is gonna get him some serious value. Pretty much everyone on Escape Gaming are very heavy in the magic damage, even the Tiny. Eventually physical, but right now it's mostly magical damage where Ira is going to be causing a threat. So if he's able to get that, turn it into a pipe, then Epicenter is going to be a lot less impressive for Keizu, and everyone else, of course, very much so the same. So there's a lot of upside here for this build in the Pudge, and yeah, it seems like landing these hooks, the ship has almost completely sailed. He landed some pretty easy ones with the help of Observer Wards, and the enemies were ignorant.
But up the top lane, Nongrata getting caught out there. The Sunstrike follow up. Nongrata evaporates there with the help of Quake's Sunstrike. Big kill coming out here. Keizu channeling the ultimate there, picking off the over-complacent Juggernaut there, thinking he could get himself a easy pick off on tier 1. In the end, get himself fried there by that Invoker. So Invoker, with that kill, gets himself a Aghanim. So here comes the juggle of spells.
Yeah, the machine gun is not quite at full attack rate. The Invoke still has one more point of leveling up to go. But still, I mean, he's going to be spitting out those spells like fire. And still Escape Gaming are almost across the map applying pressure. Like every single lane, it seems, is being pushed in at least by someone at any given time. Travels, Blink Daggers, Recall, that will do it for you. This is slowly but surely going to set up for Escape Gaming to look for Roshan. It is possible now, although a little bit slow, and you're going up against Pudge, so they'll probably need a little bit of a skirmish beforehand. But as the map slowly shrinks for Chew.Toy, Escape Gaming just have so many more options of doing those really kind of pseudo-cheesy things, like the solo Epicenter on Juggernaut for that kill.
I kind of feel like a major point to this, well, major reason why Chew.Toy are not doing as well is because the Slaughter's blink has been delayed so much. He spent too much time, I think, waiting for kills without his blink, instead of just using that Iron Tail and getting that blink dagger. So now he finally has it at 20 minutes. I remember casting one of the games in the C qualifiers with Winter, and he was giving so much crap to Yamate for not getting an Iron Tail in early game, because it really slowed down his dagger, being unable to go into the jungle in the early stages, and it really cost his team because of the inability to apply pressure at the right points in the game, cutting off enemy heroes at at their timing, item timing, stuff like that. And I kind of feel like it's a similar situation here. Your Slaughter not getting the dagger early. He is kind of the only transport for the Lifestealer with the blink dagger, so he really needed that earlier. So now that he has it, looking to see if he will make a play out of it, but I'm not sure if my scolding has hurt his feelings because he left.
I mean, I'm never ever going to say that Winter is wrong, because that man is a freaking genius. In this particular game, I don't know if him having the Iron Talon really is going to be that much of use to him, simply by how he's playing. As you said, like, he's mostly just sitting in the wings. He's not actually farming with it. So, like, it's in his inventory, but it's not really in his inventory. And usually do with it. If he's not able to do a hell of a lot, then Chew.Toy are going to be desperately on the back foot. They need the Slaughter Blink Dagger to actually do things, because otherwise, the pick is kind of dead.
Invoker is stupidly farmed though, so any kind of initiation here might be countered by the combo. So we'll have to see. Invoker is steadily getting to that level 17, and once that happens, it's a very short invoke cooldown, and means that the combo will be available for use there. The good old Tornado, Rock, Sunstrike, Deafening Blast combo. So it's gonna be very annoying, very scary, and once Doctorine comes online, it's gonna be even worse. So we'll see. Tiny is in position, primed to take out a kill here. Pudge is going to be frontlining this push, and Moonlight will start things off. There is no detection here for now. They will drop one sentry ward, so any kind of progression here, Keisu has to be careful. He knows that there is a sentry there now, that the Observer got de-warded, and yeah, they're going to be playing safe. Yapzor picks up his Aghanim, so more damage coming in for the Radiant squad.
Third, Aghanims, Keeper of the Light got his 4 Yapzor actually, so that's a thing, and now he's gonna have that Blinding Light ready to go right now, and he might need it. Or they could just sacrifice in pretty standard escape play and lose his tower. It's not really a big deal if they decide to do that.
Yeah, Escape Gaming. Oh, Syndra needs a Chakra Magic. He runs away. He tries with the Blinding Light now. Oh, poor Keeper. No, he still runs away. The horse. Too good. And now the Disruptor. Does he find him? Doesn't see him. No vision. What? Okay, never mind. Observer Ward scouts him for a little bit. Syndra makes space. Pretty much the... what do you call it? The MO for Escape Gaming. Syndrin makes space. Look at that tier 2 crumble as we watch Syndrin play with our feelings there. Nearly getting out of a 5-man gang with some insane running away. And well, Escape Gaming, they are still leading 15-10. They get a tier 2 tower, trading for that tier 1 and Syndrin's life. But Chew.Toy, they do get themselves something to munch on for now. But it's a small prize compared to what they would really want. Because it is a 14,000 net worth advantage, and now Era getting caught out there. The Pudge has something to say about him, and now it's gonna be a munch. But here comes that Sand King with the counterplay, stuns him twice. The hook, they're gonna be blocked by a teammate. It's gonna be mad about that one. I would be mad, and well, they will not get the kill on Era there. We talked about tankiness, and I think Craggy Exterior had a bit to play there. Not so sure, but it was more so that he had too much health for them to burst down, and now he's gone for that Shadow Blade for extra slipperiness, and well, it's gonna be harder to kill him. They need more damage.
There is so much freaking mobility on Escape right now. Like, Tiny's gone for the mobility special. No Force Stabs yet, so they can do that to make themselves even more slippery. But I like this decision from Era to go for the Shadow Blade. I mean, if you went for Aghanim Scepter, whatever, it's not going to be a bad item. But just by getting this item, it keeps kind of forcing Chew.Toy to get onto the map. They are saying, we are just going to farm everywhere. We're going to get much stronger on more relevant heroes much faster than you. So you have to come to us. And while Chew.Toy are trying to come to Escape, they're going to get split pushed by the recall that we're already seeing, the boost of travel. They're going to get ganked by the Shadow Blade Tiny. Shadow Blade is a really bad item when you're trying to go up high ground, but really good when you're sticking near the river area in the game, and they're going to try to do that and kind of leverage their farm rate.
Jug knows something's up. There are too many heroes missing on the map. His smoke squad on the bottom lane is trying to get something done with the Deso Slaughter, but Deso and Lifestealer and the Slaughter combined. So this Juggernaut, he feels safe enough to Manta push a little bit, but he knows that there's something up in this area of the jungle, and he's not too comfortable going nearby. Great. I mean, it's a kind of a great sense. I mean, it's pretty normal for pro players, but it's a good call from him. But as I say that, he's running back into the lane, so he might be going down now. Arrow. Oh, he sees the arrow. He knows that immediately is going to be hostiles in that area, so he's gonna play it safe a little bit. But now he has his team to back him up, so maybe a little bit more bravery from him.
Yeah, like once you see that Roshan has been slain message, you don't want to go for a fight as Escape, so he's kind of using that psychological, or just the fact that his team is nearby. There's that too, of course. Escape not really getting on the ball, not even scouting Roche actually, with Koifa and his Sunstrike.
Weird warding, I think. I'm not sure how he was caught there. Walking very deep into the enemy jungle. Era found him solo, and I'd just like to point out how poor this Disruptor is.
Just
I mean, there's
support
poor,
things,
and then
man.
there's this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to compare him though to Keeper of the Light and Mirana support on the other end. We've seen both these heroes have bad games before, but as far as supports are
I
concerned,
mean,
Keeper of the
1,000 net
Light,
worth.
he's like by far the fastest farming support hero. I'm sure someone can name one that's fast. That's not coming to my mind right now, but I mean, Illuminate is a spell.
Well, I don't know. This disruptor is just abysmally poor, and I mean, you would expect at least in arcane boots. This guy's been suffering, man. Oh dear, here comes the lifestealer gank, and not enough. The amplified damage doesn't do enough because of the Lincoln Sphere. And now CA caught in a lot of caught between the Invoker and a Sand King, and immediately gets brought down. Keizu very quick on that uptick there. The Eel Scepter even picked up to counter up the disruptor as well as the amplified damage. So I kind of like that. It even blocks Omni Slash. So all the good things in one from that Eel Scepter. Syndran making good use of that Aghanim Scepter, now going to heal up his teammates and, you know, get a push going. So Quickfur is going to have himself a light spa. There we go.
I'm not expecting Lincoln Sphere on the Invoker right now. I wasn't paying attention to his inventory. Kind of narrow applications in this game. Like that one, just by dodging the amplified damage, ended up to be pretty darn big. But you know, you don't really want to be blocking Oprah Wounds. Dismember, Glimpse, I suppose it's okay, but it's a very kind of laser focused item there for Koikva. But
it's a nice
value
tech.
already. It's
a nice tech because the enemy doesn't have a lot of single targets, and a lot of the single targets are kind of key in trying to pick you off. So if your item just blocks those things, like Glimpse is one thing that can proc his this is the only single target from that range that can catch him if he does manage to escape. So it's actually a really solid item that he can pick up. You know, blocking the Glimpse there prevents his death. Blocking Amplify, he can go into a quick Ghost Walk. Blocking Dismember, even if a Blink Dismember is out of the question. So a lot of inconveniences for Chew.Toy just because of that Lincoln's pick. So I kind of think it's a really clever pickup here. And so far he's been doing really well, so there's no reason to go into the Octarine just yet. So Lincoln's tech here, I kind of agree with, and I do like this Blink Dagger as well, so allows him for more mobility.
We usually see this application versus like a Lion, just because Hex is such a good spell, but it's very similar. Oh, he's gonna play in.
There you go, Dust is deployed there, but now Era getting caught out. Amplify plus Omni Slash equals Dead Stone Man. So they carve him a new one, and the Lifestealer now picks up his Echo Saber. Just foregoing any kind of armor ratings for now. He's just going full on DPS. And Ultra HS going for Yepso here. Yepso would leap away into the trees. They're getting himself stuck, but he does have a Blink Dagger. So he will actually enjoy sitting in this position. It's a well covered spot. And I'm not sure what he's gonna do. Nope, snipes a siege creep.
Farm.
And snipes a courier, baby. Greed. Oh no, that's not how you Dota. Gets bashed even, and now he's caught out. The Glimpse there, unfortunately, not going to work out for him. But Non Grata with the prediction blink slashes him in two. So that is going to be that. As Yepzor greets for the courier, gets punished.
Escape are kind of giving away some free-ish kills right now. The Tiny doesn't really have that explosive farm rate of the Aghanim Scepter, so I think the game plan of Escape would be good if he was actually working towards that right now and keeping up in the farm, but having gone for a pure kill route and then having gotten no kills is of course going to be a concern. Koikva still is farming up a Storm, and Invoker is insane in the late game, but you really do need one other hero to kind of complement, or at least frontline for him. Chew.Toy are getting now quite a bit of cash and quite valuable assets for themselves. Hanamidas, Blink Dagger, so far doing some work for the Slardar, and it seems like Escape have kind of this timing of passivity, despite having so many huge item pickups in the Aghanim Scepters and the triple quad Blink Daggers right now. Even the Mirana has one, so yeah, they're mobile, but it just seems like the ward game is being won a little more by Chew.
Aegis has expired now, and actually we talked about Invoker being solid in the late game, but how solid is he, man? Oh, Syndran. No, Syndran is just
walks right in and then Weissler just killed.
I mean, I felt like that was kind of weird, walking in there. But yeah, you know, we talked about Invoker being really strong, but two of the heroes on Chew have built-in magic immunity, so the combos might not work as well. I mean, usually you start off with a Tornado, but there is that instant rage, instant spin that you have to worry about. Oh, Keizu scouts out the Jugs. Jugs somehow doesn't see him. Just a little shy of the vision. Oh, here comes the epicenter. Right as I turn on the vision, kaboom! Down goes the Juggernaut. And Quakefell once again with the airstrikes, and okay, Disruptor walking in there to get pounded in by Era. That was not a good way to go.
And Quakefoot blinks into the
Dire's
trees.
middle tower is under
Oh, what a good
Era.
guy that Era getting him out of there. But, you know, those are the type of picks that we've seen previously from Escape. They haven't really found many opportunities to do that, but they're so good at it. Like, they probably didn't you know, need
Oh,
Epicenter.
Era once again. Pudge cleaves him up, and oh, Tornado comes out. It's gonna be a little bit wide. Not gonna find a pick off there. C8 going for a Midas. What do you think about this Midas on the Slaughter? Catch up Midas. What's he really want to go for? You think maybe he can benefit from more mobility, or is he got to go for some DPS?
I think it's very similar to having like an upgraded Iron Talon, just smooth over those future items. If Chew.Toy really are, or if Escape really are going to play this kind of come at us style, then Chew.Toy really need to be able to scrape together as much farm as they can get, and having those farm assistants like Hand of Midas really is going to be a godsend if they expect the game to go late, and it doesn't seem like they're playing to end the game anytime soon. So I do like it in that regard. Plus, it's attack speed on Slardar, which is pretty sweet.
Dire's middle
So I
tower
think this is
under
a pretty
attack.
good item to have, as long as they play
If they
into
can
the fact
stall
they
the game
have
long
bought
enough,
this
it's
Midas.
definitely gonna be good. But oh yeah, I just need you to check real quick if you
Dire's
muted
middle tower
cold
is under
broadcasters
attack.
in the Dota TV. It's a small thing, just to make sure I don't echo into your side of things. So hopefully, just check it. Oh, Syndren.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, let's see how Syndren gets out of this mess. He's gonna put a clone of himself, maybe confuse them for a bit. Hey, looks like it worked out, and they will leave him alone. So Syndren makes 2 seconds of space.
Yeah, you're muted and
Right.
everything. Can only hear you through the call.
Alright, so we'll just leave it at that. But for now, we're gonna have a Tornado fly past, push the Juggernaut out of there. Quakefoot snipes the tower and just blinks out of there. Stylish. Doesn't even wait for the bits to crumble to the ground. It's been a really excellent game of Invoker so far. Really showing the haters what's up, you know, with this Invoker pick. I really envy Invoker players. I think he's a really cool hero, like aesthetic-wise. Like, I mean, not just spells, I think he's a really good hero, he has a lot of abilities and everything. But I think it's just really cool to play Invoker. But it's so difficult to learn.
And the problem is that he's viable now. Like
Yeah.
back when he wasn't really viable, you could spam Invoker and you'd just be like, oh, we're practicing. But now if you do it, people are like, oh, you know,
Invoker
you want to
picker,
be an
but you're
Invoker
Injoker,
player, and
you
it
know.
feels bad.
Injoker. Yeah, I can't even pick him now because like I mean, even at my low MMR, it's still punishable by death. You can't get away with mistakes such as not
Yeah, just
knowing how
first
to
pick
play the
Fudge
hero.
all the time. That's usually a lot safer.
But yeah, both teams are avoiding each other right now. They have become kind of cold war, not daring to push up the high ground because of fear of the purge, fear of that lifestealer initiation. Escape Gaming, I think they got the tools to do it. Yes, they don't have the Aegis, but I still think they have the ability to push up the high ground now.
Well, they aren't actually going for Ag anytime soon on Era. Silver Edge is coming out to him. So he's definitely looking to play this a little more of a fighting, not so much siege role. If they do get a pick off right now, Escape can look for some pretty serious damage on this tower. Maybe Chew.Toy are like, oh, there's no way they're going to go up high ground and just not bring the heroes back in time. That seems
Here
unlikely.
comes the hook. Gonna miss. They hooked the Syndren Illusion. Not gonna get him. And well, tier 2 for tier 3, and now the Rex is getting pressured. I'm not sure they are in time to get in here. The Invoker is going to be Glimpse. Nope, they'll Glimpse Caudle back. There is the silence. And now Caudle gonna get caught out, but the arrow comes in. The Tornado and the Barrel Strike a little bit off time, but never mind. Here comes the Meatball. It will find some big kills there. Keizu getting purged up there. Keizu dropping low, but the Omni Slash will avoid it for a little bit more. The Moonlight almost brings him out of it. Yepso now getting caught out by Quakefoot laying in on the punch, but the Juggernaut says no. Has something to say about it. The Cold Snap though, the counter earn. Yepso keeping himself alive. 1 drop left remaining and he will get diffused up. Very unfortunate. That was an excellent play by him. Almost keeping himself alive there, but no. Quakefoot will take revenge for his teammates, get himself a triple kill, and now a beyond godlike streak. Not even enough inventory spaces, and might he get an ultra kill here? Yes, that's a Tornado on forward, a Deafening Blast. Definitely going to be able to be doing a lot of damage if he hits, but no, there was a rage to keep things interesting there for the Invoker. So for now, they're just going to plunk away at this top melee. Rex will probably claim it with no contest as Era tries to dodge that Disruptor as well as Pudge. Now he's getting Thunderstruck up. There is still that invisibility for him. The Sentry Ward will make sure that he doesn't get out alive. So Era gonna crumble there as the Quick Fur Invoker just plumps away at that tower. Immediately blinks away, dodging a rod attempt there by the Zenya on that Pudge. So far so good here for Quick Fur. He's not died yet, apart from that one time in the early game. But yeah, that Courier was thinking about that gem, but no sir.
Wow, he even got the mid lane tower with 1 Force Spirit left. All calculated, I'm sure, because, you know, Quake was good at this game. But the team took down the top lane Rax. Every single kill afterwards, even though it did go Escape's favor, it was almost irrelevant because the Rax has been brought down. And now Escape, they have even more power with the Silver Edge, and having top lane being down means that they can do some really, really obnoxious things with that Tiny, and it's only a matter of time before the rest of the items come up. Like 6,000 freaking gold on Quakefar. Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
Whatever he gets, no matter what he gets, it's just going to be almost backbreaking for Chew.Toy, who, though they do have BKBs coming up, it seems like Escape have just enough mobility to just say, okay, you got your BKB up, we're just going to leave, and then engage in 9 seconds.
A sign of Vice might not be that bad.
Side of the limp, one guy, engage coming up. Really, really thin. Oh, get roached. Nongrada's flipped, but I think he should be fine. Okay, hook down.
I think I need to call you back, but oh, Barrel Strike, and oh, a big crush there lands on Synderen. Synderen disappears. Oh, but there's a glimpse to pull back. YapzOr, the Lotus Orb is going to keep him alive for now. There is a Lotus on him. He has applied it. They still can see him with that Thunder Strike, so there is a blink available. The Slider crushes him, marks him with the amplified damage, so it's trouble time for YapzOr. But is there reinforcements coming in? No! Quickfur is destroying their base. No more melee racks for you. And YapzOr is going to be pretty happy about that as they do disengage. The Lotus Orb, once again, going to be good for... Oh, no! Okay. So that disengage wasn't because of that. It was because he DC'd. Well, that's rough. Are you going to try speaking in now while they're paused? I'm not sure if there was a robot sound. I did lose you for a bit there.
I am not a robot.
Okay,
and
you gotta enter a capture to prove
being
that.
a robot either. Mr. Destructoid.
Yeah, well.
Fine?
Yep, sounds fine. Sounds fine.
There we go. I told you I'm not a robot.
Until I see the capture, I'm not believing it.
I've got the humans to believe that I'm not a robot. But, okay, either way, Chew.Toy, they get away with the Aegis of the Immortal. That's all well and good for right now. And Leisler, as we could see, is packing quite a serious punch. But now the Tiny has a plate mail, and now things are going to change. Even though, yes, there is an amplified damage level 3 on the Slaughter, plate mail into Assault Cuirass just brick walls almost all of Chew.Toy's damage. And if they're able to get more armor auras, if someone's able to scrape together a Vlad's or something like that, then Escape will be a lot tankier. Already a Rax and a half up. Chew.Toy, they aren't really getting back into this game net worth-wise. In fact, it is still Escape to be farming faster than Chew.Toy at any given moment. They're losing objectives while not really gaining substantially enough objectives of their own. They really need to make a big play. Try to get to Escape before Escape gets set up. Otherwise, it's just going to be them losing this game slowly.
Yeah, losing it to attrition. They pick up 1-2 kills, but then they lose their racks. These are the kind of things that, oh yeah, we got a good fight, we got 2 pickups, and then your support pings your tower there. Oh, meanwhile, Nongrada getting caught out there. The meatball doing so much damage. Oh man, that is the Invoker for you. But that's also the Tiny being able to Echo Saber 2 big rock fists into your face. And yeah, now getting caught out. I do like the Lotus Orb pickup here for YapzOr. I think that item is underrated. When I met him at TI, he did tell me that as well. It's hard to find a fellow Lotus Orb lover. It's a really a great item, and I think it needs to be used more.
He's loaded with gold for a support Mirana to be able to afford a Lotus Orb. That's incredible in and of itself. So he's gonna get some decent value.
Speed up Mirana's farm just way too much.
Yeah.
So it's a really good number 4 because once she gets that axe, she pretty much becomes a 3 or 2. So it's a good way to cheat the system. And all of Escape Gaming had good farming heroes. Sand King, it's Coddle, Mirana. Arguably Invoker is the slowest farmer here, but you know, he got that in kills. And now Yepso gonna get shielded up again with that Lotus Orb, just removing all those buffs, making it very hard to pick off. And even blocking the punch bite. Oh, now getting cold snapped up is Zunya getting caught out, but meanwhile Baraban is gonna find Tiny at the edge of things, and oh, there's a BKB hooks in Yepso. Yepso in trouble. He leaps away before the bite comes in, but there is your glimpse. He will shield himself, but that is going to be that.
Ice wall.
He will get caught out there. Slaughter amplifies himself, and there'll be no kills. But there is a ranged Rex that will be falling in that middle lane. So again, another Rex for a kill and a half, I think, almost. But Syndrome are going to run forward then, but a lot of his mana away. Okay, careful, Syndrome, careful. Yeah, no, that's no, Syndrome, what? Okay, well, I guess that was a bait, right? Now Nongraza's gonna kill himself. Yep, it's a bait.
He was setting up so that his teammates could kill the Juggernaut.
That was it. Okay. Yeah, he was like, guys, watch it as I run into this illusion to make him think that I'm confused. But okay, here comes Slaughter getting caught down by the meatball. He has that BKB, so he pops it. The punch hooks him out. So a little bit too defensive there. He pops his BKB and then the punch hooks him out. So he isn't able to re-enter the fight. But CA losing so much health, and now the ice wall catches him out. Quakefa just stalling on these guys, and now even the creep that was getting BOT to gets destroyed there, so there's no counterplay coming out. HNN getting caught out. There's Invoker. Is there a Sunstrike? Nope, there's a jump in there. Quakefa dodging that hook. Sand King will catch that instead. He gets bitten up, but Quakefa, does he have a spell? He doesn't have a spell to save his buddy for now. There's another ice wall, traps them in there. Keizu out of options there, loses the gem to his friends, and Nongraza buys back into the game. Quakefa still in the front lines there, dropping spells and readying his combo. There's the Sunstrike. Does he land it? He does! Oh man, with the Mirana. And Nongraza, he's gonna be in trouble. Era looking for it. Quakefa running forward, snaps him up. Now Zunya getting caught up, thrown into the air. The big pile of meat flies up and splats to the ground. Now Chew left with two heroes to defend this. Now the Deathling Blast goes out. Ultra just scratching the ground there, trying to claw his way back into the fight, but really to no avail, only managing to kill off the 4 spirits. And has to be careful as his rage is timing out. Era ready with the blink dagger to start the toss, and the arrow, the Sunstrike takes out the Aegis, so he has a second life, a second chance here. We'll see if they can make things happen here as Ultra's rage is ready. He's going in. Quakefa's Lincoln Sphere just causing too much trouble for them. And now Slaughter goes in. There's the jump in they needed. Nongraza goes in with that Omni Slash. He goes onto the 4 sprints. A lot of it missed there, but Baraban is wicked sick. But the Deathling Blast AoE once again doing a lot of damage there. Quakefa tossed away to his ally, saving his life for now, but 2 crits in a row gets him down. And now Godlike Streak ended there. Nongraza getting a huge amount of gold. And Era will prime himself. A 1v1 with this Slaughter, but this Lifestealer is here to chew on Era. You talk about tank, I think not. Monster kill for the Lifestealer. Nongraza now surging out for Syndrome, the only one not dying for a change. And oh, no, I said that too soon. 3 seconds, Syndrome, run. He has perfect vision. He can get out of this. I believe you, Syndrome. Alright, Syndrome gets out of there in time. Even has that Escape Gaming logo to boot there. That arrow up as he escapes back to his fountain. Phew, what a fight.
Quakefa's pretty good Invoker.
Yeah,
he died and still had 10k golds. He then buys 1 Observer and 18 Sentry Wards. You know, just because.
Yeah, I think you need about 18 to build a question mark.
What was that?
You need 18 to build a question mark outside their throne. When you end. Do you not know about it? You put the Sentry Wards in a question mark?
No.
That's a thing my friends do.
Well,
they're not good people.
I'll have to take your word for it because
the throne has like true sight, so they will be able to see the question mark in front of their fountain.
Oh,
but it takes about 18.
Move.
So. Yeah.
But then he's gonna have to get rid of his Hand of Midas, which he hasn't gotten rid of for a more useful item. So I'm not really sure if that's in the cards. Oh, the arrow from Yapslar tags the Pudge in the trees to interrupt a TP. Not relevant, but just a pain in the ass. But either way. It is still kind of a problem that Escape's Tiny is kind of underfarmed. That's what happens when you don't go for Aghanim Scepter and you don't go for kills. You're not able to battle up against the Lifestealer who now has a Divine Rapier. So Escape, they have a lot of stock in this Invoker. He is a powerhouse. He's going to get a 1-shot Scythe of Vice and level 2 travels.
Arcane Rune, oh boy, this is going to be delicious.
He gets glimpsed in or hooked in or something into a Lifestealer. It's like 2 or 3 shots and he's just dead. So this is a very all-in play for Chew.Toy, but I think at this point it's justified because they're not making great strides.
Yeah, I mean, if they... I was about to say they should bring out the Rapier, because at this point, they just need to take a fight, hope there is no buyback here, and end it. But they're kidding themselves if they think there's no buyback. Oh no, the Barrel Strike starts things off, and CA is going to pop that BKB immediately. Keizu getting caught out. He disappears. Where did he go? And now, and then is still running away. Era caught there by the amplified damage. How many hits did that take? 2 hits. Ultra takes out the Tiny, but now the Barrel Strike, the Hex comes out. Lifestealer in trouble, but the Hex has been dispelled. The Eel Scepter will buy Keizu a little bit of time. The arrow blocked there by the Slaughter. Yapzor trying to sneak one in. Tosses 2 arrows out there. Keizu getting glimpsed back into enemy territory. Just juking this Lifestealer. There is this Rapier he has to be very careful with. The Glimmer Cape will save his life. He will port out of there in time. Now, Genya trying to run away, but he's leaked up. He's going to get brought down by that Invoker. And, well, that fight goes 1-for-1, surprisingly. I thought more people died than that. And, well, it was a huge fight. A lot of spells were thrown around. There was a buyback here on the Slaughter and Sanking. That makes more sense now. There was a buyback for Sanking and the Slaughter, and there was a 200 net worth gain. A very small net worth gain, but there was still a couple of key buybacks now unavailable for both teams. And another Sunstrike Wolf. Nope, just scouting out a high ground ward. So we're gonna go for another push here, and this time the Pudge buying back into the game. So the last set of Rexes, they have to go all in on this. It's their last defense, pretty much. It's a best of 1 single elimination, so you really got to pull out all the stops. And Caudle.
And the end result for that.
Ooh, Syndrin.
Oh, Koikba is going to go for a solo pick off on the Pudge. Hexes him before the BKB comes up. Is this a kill?
Pew, pew, pew,
Pretty
pew.
close.
Nope, doesn't get him. Pudge too tanky. But it forces the BKB out, and that's the buyback too, so he really couldn't risk dying there, and yeah, just walking on the spot so that he doesn't risk getting hit by a Sunstrike. Healing what's going to top him up, so that's going to be that. Oh, meanwhile, Slaughter removes Syndrin from the game, and Syndrin will be taking the bench for another 60 seconds.
Right, well, that fight was a great example of how to play around melee heroes and their BKBs. Like, Keizu was all over the place. I don't know what happened there. He disappeared on my screen too and then bought back. Something happened, but they were constantly like poking and prodding without ever fully committing to a fight. And that is kind of indicated by the fact that Keizu never really got an epicenter off, and that's kind of a bad thing, I suppose, but there was never a chance to actually commit to a fight because you were always trying to dance around these melee heroes as they run out of BKB charge. 7 seconds on the Slardar, 7 on the Juggernaut as well, and of course Lifestealer has the Rage, so if you play around that cooldown, you're going to be somewhat in a reasonable position.
He has Blink now.
Chew.Toy really struggled to actually catch up and focus down the parts that matter. And yes, they still have the Divine Rapier, but for Escape, if they take another one of those fights slightly closer to the Chew.Toy base, there's just so much more upside in the ability to take Megas. That essentially just wins the game. I don't think Chew.Toy can recover from that. So it is still Chew.Toy, yes, dodging this Assassin and Invoker. And at a certain point, Koikba is going to either kill someone important or get picked off himself.
Yeah, but he has got a big trust fund to fall back on. Something to note is the Lifestealer Blink Dagger. I think he doesn't want to have to rely on the Slaughter to initiate anymore. He's like, I'm gonna do things my way, and he gets up the Blink Dagger himself. Maybe he can get on the get a jump on someone and pick them off. But I think his lack of Abyssal Blade is gonna be a real issue for him. I feel like he needs the Abyssal Blade. All right, now Era gets the Aegis. Wait, yeah, Era gets the Aegis. So he has been dying a lot. So I think the Aegis is a good pickup for him, being able to jump in there and initiate aggressively without being punished.
And his items are actually coming together in the fact that he has Assault Cuirass. Still no Moon Shards, another big item for Era. But I think the biggest item, perhaps, even more important than that Aegis, is this Ethereal Blade on Mirana. Like, you cannot be right-clicked when you're Ethereal. And the Absol can use that to either take out the Lifestealer or take out whoever Lifestealer is trying to focus. Either way, it's just downtime where the Lifestealer is stumbling around, not doing any damage. And it does a lot of damage itself. That's not to be understated either. So
yeah, with the Starstorm, can do a lot of damage.
Kind of carry role that Era is kind of lacking by being slow on farm.
And Nongrata now gonna spin out the creep wave. Has to be very careful as he is using his magic immunity escape to farm the wave. So has to be a little bit careful when he does push for this. And escape, not taking any chances even with this Aegis. They are gonna make sure all the lanes are pushed in. So sufficient pressure applied in all directions on the Dire base before going in. And Lifestealer once again taking a vacation in Slaughter Town. Not gonna be doing any face showing for now, but Nongrata, he is... I feel like he's really in the position to get blown up here.
Yeah, well, he has a Blink Dagger and a BKB, but Keizu has a Blink Dagger and an Aghanim to Burrow Strike, so his effective range is off the charts. And now Escape Gaming are, well, once again going to start separating, push in all the lanes they have done when it was like more 25-ish minutes into the game. And...
what? What? Oh man, Arrow getting caught out there. The Aegis gonna immediately go down and BKB ready as well. They might be able to just Rod Huck him, make sure he doesn't TP out of that. He tosses him back to the Slaughter though. Slaughter catching Syndrome on the low ground. Now the Epicenter comes in, finds targets, but not enough damage as BKBs are everywhere. And Nongrata gets another kill. Quakefa trying to red, but he's on the wrong side of the dive. He takes a tier 4 tower, but it's not enough as they lose 2 big heroes. Era coming back in there after that Aegis revival. Doesn't go down, but they do lose Syndrome and the Aegis. A crazy blind hook. I would say it's almost blind. Era was out of vision for a few seconds, so the Pudge hook was pretty much blind and got him through the Shadow Blade. So very well done there by the Pudge there. So hit on his set, but this guy, he's pulling his weight.
As long as it's not Quakefa to be hit with that hook, it's kind of fine for Escape. Like, they lose a couple heroes, yes.
Oh, Arrow.
But Ira is still alive because of the Aegis. He somehow got out of there. So Escape can still apply this pressure constantly and just wait for Syndrome to come back. So that's some serious sentry ward value right there.
Oh, the hook! Oh, we talked about it. Now Quakefa getting blocked at Lincoln's. Oh man, he disappears. Oh man, you mock Confucius. He's mad now.
See, when you're playing like this, eventually someone is going to get caught. Chew.Toy are playing slightly more carefully, but for Escape they lack that kind of Lycan-esque hero to take those couple of seconds to get into the enemy base and hit the buildings. Like, they are kind of working down bottom range racks, kind of working down the tier 4s, but they're putting themselves at a lot of risk for not much payoff as far as the versus structures game is concerned. Chew.Toy are getting a lot of opportunities to get these kills, and now they're actually outside the base.
Yeah, these games, I mean, we favor one side. I mean, they are, after all, TI veterans. They may not have placed high, but they are TI veterans against a team of, well, people that people don't usually see in pro games. So it's kind of weird. I mean, Yepso now getting caught out. The Amplify is on him. The stun is not going to work here for the Tiny. Is he going to blink away? No, one punch that will stop him in his tracks there. Yepso still tracked up. One more hit will stop him from blinking away. And now CA, oh, he blinks away, but is he going to be able to get out there in time? Yes, he will. The amplified damage dispelled by the Lotus Orb. Once again, Era, please be careful. Era has been dying way too many times this game. Really be careful here. Still doesn't have his Aghanim's. Oh, the bite comes out. Where's the bite?
Syndrome, no.
Oh, Syndrome,
not like this.
Solo killed there by the Fat Punch. And the Juggernaut
so
takes the
Syndra's
tower.
down. That means their best high ground defender is dead. They're split pushing bottom, but mid lane is being pushed very rapidly as well. It seems like Escape are kind of inadvertently transitioning.
They don't want to risk it against Tiny, but oh, they might find heroes. Oh, they find Keizu. Heal Scepter, start things off. Ultra is ready to go in for this. Whoa, the Tiny goes in and snipes the range Rex. We'll see if Era gets punished. I think he will. Yeah, Juggernaut comes in. The stun comes out. Is there a purge? There is. Era in trouble now. The crush comes out. They won't even need an Omni Slash for this. The Abyssal Blade, everything thrown at him. Era will lose his life there for range Rex. Is it worth it? I'm not so sure. Because it's not a melee. The melee is the one that regens. The range, yeah, it's alright. But I don't know. It's gonna be rough. Yeah, top lane, no BKB. Yeah, Pudge.
And I think he's dead this time.
Yeah, this time he goes down. He has buyback though. He drops the gem again.
And the courier is coming out to get it. So we have a setup on bottom lane actually. They get a Juggernaut kill. That might actually.
Oh, ninja senses. Oh man, got caught by that too many times in this game, and now he's just gonna play safe. And Nongrata, please be careful. Not the fight that you're looking to take. He has a BKB though. The Sunstrike will fly. He immediately blinks out of there. And this is the CIS aggression you expect, you know, from a team like Chew.Toy. Just going in ham. One Rex left in their base. No fear. We're still going ham. We have a Rapier that's been up for what, 20 minutes now? So kudos to
never
Ultra
really
for
been
that.
in danger.
What?
The Rapier's never been in danger either. Like, Leicster's always been pretty healthy and just beating down on everyone. Now he's actually 6-slotted. Moonshard's eaten, level 2 travels. He's done. He's not going to get any stronger than this.
Yeah.
Unless Desolator out for You replace that with Daedalus?
Abyssal
Is that
Blade,
for damage?
definitely. I think Abyssal Blade is key here. Needs it.
Abyssal Blade?
Oh,
Sure.
Slaughter, does he have detection? Oh, he sees the Ghost Scepter. And oh, he might think this is... Oh no, he might be baited. Oh, here comes the Sand King though. Coming in, there's CA getting caught out. Allows Stealer immediately. Oh no, he runs away. And now he's caught out. He doesn't have BKB. He doesn't have buyback. He just bought out his Hyperstone. And now they're in trouble. The Juggernaut goes in for a last ditch attempt, but the Power Strike will fly. Non-Grata gets caught out. And just in a stunning turn of events, I think the game might have just ended right there. Ultra getting himself caught out without a buyback. And that Rapier dropping to the ground. And Escape Gaming, you know, although it was difficult, they did get it after 53 minutes. But again, I would like to emphasize how much these favored teams, quote unquote, are struggling in their BO1s.
Yeah, the game was not exactly clean from Escape, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Got the win. I don't really think anything like specifically triggered that either. It was just Chew.Toy getting caught out of position, which is a shame because they've been playing pretty decently ever since they lost 2 sets of Raxes. I think they could have actually had a pretty good run back in this game if they were a little more careful.
Well, it was a anticlimactic end, but it still was an exciting one nonetheless. And I was pretty glad I casted that game. It was a really fun game to watch from start to finish, and really very few dull moments as there are always people getting caught out here and there. But yeah, Escape Gaming pulled a close one. It was a close shave. Again, I think they need to analyze their mistakes for this match and maybe cut down on them on the next series. That they'll be playing for the rest of the week. We'll be covering more Dota 2 Champions League as the week progresses. We still have 2 BO1s actually. Mike, you'll be joining me of course for those games. And yeah, guys, if you want to follow Mike, you know, you can check out his Twitter handles in the title of the stream. So is mine. So tweet at us your feedback, whatnot, and we'll be right back with you guys for game number 3, which I believe will be F5 versus Flipside. Am I right? Yep, F5 versus Flipside coming up. I think you don't want to miss that as well. F5, really solid team from Europe as well. So we'll be right back with game number 3, guys. Don't go anywhere. That's Lysander and Mike signing off for now. Much love and Kappa.